Good morning, my family community. We have a busy day today on the homestead, and actually we have a busy couple months. So, if you're ready, went through a pot of coffee this morning. Wait till you find out why. Okay, y'all, as I said, I have already gone through a pot of coffee. We've been up early. As of last night, I have a stock pot full of chicken broth that we have to pressure can. Probably tomorrow, I'm cooling it down. We cleaned out the meat. The meat in it was actually from some roosters, and I will tell you, roosters have some really tough meat, but they make amazing broth. And I don't waste the meat. I actually grind it up really good, and I actually make it into dog food. So that's going to help us prolong our dog food right now. We got 3 bags. Each bag will probably be about a week's worth of dog food, and they were the quart size. So we've got those. I have downsized on the poultry for our homestead after we found out. Basically, I kept telling my husband, and him and I were both a little bit confused. It kept sounding like we had more male quails than I have thought, and I have been noticing that there has been a disturbance within my community of quails, and I was actually getting less and less, only to find out we had more roos than we had hens. So honestly, at this point, I was just frustrated. I'm over it, and I'm not doing any more quail. We're done with them. So we don't have any more turkey, and we don't have any more quails. Right now, we just have our chicken and our pheasants, and we're good with this. We're just going to stick with that and be happy. We want to minimize stress. Our gardens will probably multiply because we do want more vegetables. As of right now, my seed stock for next year is finished. I'm ready for that. I don't have to worry about fighting with anybody else. I went and got it all done and over with. Now we are working on some Moko pork, which we are going to do that together. We have lots of canning to do this week. I've got a list. I lost my list. Hold on, y'all. So, okay, so here's what we have. We have to add some more to our pantry. We got really low. I mean, so low, y'all. We have 1 jar of fresh green beans left. I have some in the refrigerator I need to start doing. We have 3 jars of tomato sauce left. This is how much we went through. Now, we have canned goods from the store, but those are our emergency stocks. Basically, when we don't have any of our homegrown stocks and the home canned stocks, then we turn to the store-bought. So our home stocks are like super low. We've got 1 jar of kidney beans, 2 jars of little red beans, 2 jars of pintos, 1 jar of greens. We have 3 jars of butter beans, 2 jars of chili. I mean, we got low, y'all, really low. So, let's see what else. I've got 8 jars of herb potatoes. We have to redo those. We have only, what was that one? I think it was 1 quart of chicken stock. And then there's only a couple jars of, yeah, there's 10 of chicken stock, quarts or pints. So that's what that has to do, because we went through all of it just about, and we definitely need to stock up on that. So we have a lot of canning to do. We're good on our hamburger meat. We're good on our chicken. We decided that we're not going to go and do that this year. We are definitely going to do some more dilled green tomatoes, because that worked. We love our, and it was nice to have fried green tomatoes in the wintertime. Honestly, they have a really good flavor. So, and I take that back, I have 5 jars of chicken broth. So yeah, this is definitely something we need to do. Garbanzo beans, I only have 1 jar left of those too. So we definitely have some work to do this week, y'all. Or next couple months, just to be honest with you. So we are going to be refilling our pantry, because I have more empty jars than I have full. So right now we're going to go in the kitchen and do the MoJo pork, because this is where we want our Cubanos, and the leftovers of it will give me other types of more meals with Cubanos, or other type of food that we want with the Mexican or Cuban pork. Now, I will tell you, there was one thing. Me and my husband go to a place called Ripley in Ripley, Mississippi. It is an amazing, huge flea market type thing, an outdoor flea market. You can, I mean, they've got farming animals, they got, you name it, they got everything. My husband found me something that's going to, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's going to make my Cubanos and everything else that I love easy for me. Let me show you what that is. Y'all, I ain't never had one of these, and he found me a panini grill for 10 bucks. So, this, it will finish off my Cubanos, or having panini sandwiches now. Using our fresh milled bread, we can now do our paninis. So I am looking forward to doing my Cubanos this time, and when I do, I will probably make a video on how to do it this way all the way to the end. So in the meantime, right now, let's go and make some MoJo pork, because this is going to take an all-day process, because we are slow cooking it. Okay, y'all, so we're going to start with, first of all, in here I'm using a food processor to make my mix to go on top of my pork. And I'm using a 4-pound, or a little over 4-pound pork shoulder. And we're going to put this in the slow cooker. I have a zest of 1 whole orange. I have 3/4 cups of orange juice that are fresh squeezed. You can use frozen orange juice if you want to, if you didn't want to go through all the trouble with squeezing your own. You can use any type of orange juice. I just like this because there's no added sugar to it. I need 3/4 cup of olive oil. Let's see here. I need 1/2 cup of lime juice. Now I'm actually going to use whole limes, fresh limes for this. So I'm going to be slicing up some to go inside of the crock pot as well. So I might not use all of the juice because it is freshly squeezed. You can, if you don't want to use fresh squeeze, you can also turn around and use the juice, just lime juice. But I'm going to squeeze these in here and get all the juice out of this, and then I'm going to be adding some fresh limes to my pork as it cooks. So, because these are little limes actually. I'm going to go ahead and finish all these. I've got 4 total that I'm squeezing, and we'll be right back. Alright, so there's our lime juice. I need 1/4 cup of chopped mint leaves. Now I am using fresh grown mint, so I'm just going to put this in here, chop them up just a little bit, and we're going to put them in this food processor. Trying to use as much as our own as possible. I'm also doing a very much discipline this year. My husband and I, we were discussing it, and I had told him that I needed to do something for myself to make a very much discipline on what I do on this homestead. I have been slacking off and slowly getting back into basically our old ways, and I can't do that anymore. It's going to cost us in the long run, and I just don't want to do that. That's not the reason I'm a homestead, and if I go back to my old ways, I don't need to be homesteading. So, this is what we're doing. I'll explain all that here in a bit, what all that means. Now, I've got my mint, and I need 1 cup of loose cilantro. I'm going to tear this up in there as well. I like cilantro, so we actually both do. I love the flavor to it. And I'm going to tell you, if you've never had a Cubano, this stuff here is amazing, y'all. Alright, so now I need 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. One, 2. And I need, let's see, 2 teaspoons of cumin. Okay, come on. We need 3 tablespoons, about 6 to 12 cloves of garlic going in here. And we're going to have to mince all that too. So we shall be right back once we get that done. Alright, y'all, since I'm running this through the food processor anyways, I'm just throwing my garlic in here. I have 6 because I have some really big cloves in here. Now I need 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And I'm going to use kosher salt for my salt. Then we're going to puree this all together. And then we're going to pour this over our pork. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep my pork at the moment. And we're going to get this bad boy in the crock pot. We'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so I got my pork in the crock pot. And now we're just going to pulse this. Well, I guess it would work if I plugged it in. One of them days. It's Monday, y'all. And then we're going to pulse this down. And that's it. Get all that goodness off of here. And onto our pork. Then I'm going to pour all of this on top of that pork in there. I'm not adding no water or nothing like that to this. I'm just going to add all our juices to it over the top. Let me see if I can... Hang on, let me maneuver you here. There you go. Now I'm just going to pour this over the top of my pork. Oh gosh, y'all, this is going to be so good. If you ain't never had MoJo pork, you really need to try this. It's unlike anything. Down here, they make a lot of their pulled pork. But to me, I will take a MoJo pork over pulled pork any time of the day, the barbecue type. There's just something about a Cubano that's amazing. And then this pork is really good for any type of dish, like barbecue too. So that's it. All I'm going to do now is cover it. I'm going to set this. For right now, I'm going to put mine on probably high, and then I could turn it down later. So I'm just going to let this cook. That's one of my meals. I can set it, forget it, and move on to the next thing. Okay, y'all, so the part I was talking about being serious. We have been preparing for this, honestly, for 5 years. We have been watching the increase of groceries and gas and electric now. Everything is going high. And so I made a decision for us to shop minimally as much as possible. And here's how we're working this. For this homestead, to be able to survive all the things that we're going through, yet we have prepared for this to survive in any situation. Not just winter, but even now. We have decided that we're not shopping but once a month, which makes sense. When we go shopping, we're not going to places like Walmart or any of those anymore. We are going to Aldi. We seem to get, although Aldi's prices are still, they went up as well, we could still get twice the amount of groceries from Aldi than we can go into Walmart here in our town. That's the only grocery store besides Save-A-Lot, which hardly has nothing anymore, and then our Sunfresh. So we choose Walmart or Aldi. We do know that we will have the emergencies of milk and stuff like that we'll have to, but that's not a major grocery shopping. We are growing more, hence the reason we prepared to get big raised beds for this so we can grow more. Although we can't grow like a farm, which would be really nice, we're going to try to grow as much as we can, have our own fresh fruits and vegetables, because frankly I'm tired of going to the store, buying fresh produce, and within, you can put it in the refrigerator, and within 3 days it is rotted. I am throwing food away more than I am, and to me it's not food throwing away, I'm throwing away money. So if I can save that by just growing my own, I'd rather do that. So we are limiting ourselves. I am going to concentrate very hard at using what we have month to month. rather than week by week anymore. I would rather do that, divide up what we can, do what we can in canning, go to more or less like our flea markets or fresh fruit markets and stuff, and buy the produce from there to be able to can if I don't have enough on our own homestead. So, and I prefer to do our own homestead. So I'm hoping, I don't know, it's for me, this is what we need to do. I have come to the conclusion, and I talked to my husband, we had a good heart-to-heart this weekend because we spent some quality time. And if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right as a homestead. We're not just going to call ourselves a homesteader and not be able to do what we're putting effort in. There's no sense in it. If I'm going to live in the worldly way and just go back to weekly shopping, you know, and occasionally have our garden in here and this, that, whatever, then I don't need to be a homesteader, period. So I had to make a decision. What am I? Am I a real homesteader, or did I just go back to my old way of living? I do want to also incorporate healthier food, yet different type as well. A lot of Mediterranean, but there are some foods from Asia, or like Chinese food or Mexican food. We actually love this too. So we're going to incorporate a few others on top of it, but making healthier choices, like our MoJo pork, for instance. Although pork is a very fatty food, most of the ingredients that was in this was fresh. And so these are what we're doing homemade. I'd rather do homemade than pre-made, but that's me. We don't get assistance, so we have to manage this the best way possible. Doing this monthly helps in a big way, instead of being able to grocery shop weekly and then trying to maintain those weekly bills with our other bills for the month. So it's just, it wasn't working, and we're de-stressing this homestead, and we're going to run it the way we're supposed to. So you're going to start seeing that, y'all. And honestly, here's the way we do. This homestead is a Mediterranean homestead, and we will incorporate other sources of food. This homestead is fresh milled flour, and we bake our own bread products or wheat products. I also make my own pasta. I'm not sorry for this, and this is what we do. We love it. It's working for us. It's working in our health, and we cannot turn back. Many ask me, where do I get the energy? It's because of how I'm eating to be able to do what I do. But don't get me wrong. I get tired, y'all. I do. And by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. But, and there are days like on the weekends, if you see, I don't do videos because I'm taking some R&R, y'all. I do at the end of the week. I'm exhausted. I do get a lot done, but I'm also looking to be able to slow down all the heavy-duty work. This is the reason why we are reorganizing on our homestead. We are eliminating and de-stressing a lot of things. So that's what you're going to start seeing in the days to come. We will be doing a lot of recipe videos, and I will also be putting in the recipes, because I told you before, we have it coming soon. Everything that we use or that we put on the shelf or we grow, I am going to teach you how to use it. I'm going to teach you side dishes to go with your main dishes. And so this is what we're incorporating, Mediterranean or not. There's always sides to go with the main, and you don't see much of that. So that's what we're going to do. Even if I have to just basically put sides on some of the videos, just to give you some ideas. So next thing I have to do is I now have to prep breakfast meals, which I had done that with you all already. I got to do that for the week so hubby can just basically reheat and go, because a lot of times he don't have time to wait for me to cook breakfast. So I've got to get that prepped. And we are probably starting either tomorrow or Wednesday. There will be a video where we are going to do a variety of canning dried beans. And because I need black beans, I need chickpeas, I need butter beans, pinto beans, we need them all. So there's going to be a point in there. Also, before we do those, I have to get these green beans, so they're going to be divided between cut and French cut. We have a lot going on, and we've got a lot coming up. So I hope you're going to be prepared to be with us. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, y'all, because we've got a busy couple months. Because again, winter is around the corner within 5 months. So, wow, where's the time going? Anyways, love y'all, and we will see you again. We got a lot to do. So, much love. Until next time, from Parton's Heritage Homestead.